the name though, who came up with the name
Oh
Change
my
Your Face?
gosh. So people won't believe it. So we had Face to Face.
Oh, yeah, that's
We
not
had
bad.
the single pressed, ready to go. I think the artwork was the last thing that needed to go. The single release date, and the single would have been Stroke You Up. Single release date, everything. I thought we did a name check, but some way or another, like a couple days prior to artwork, to everything being pressed with the name on it, lawyer calls and says face to face is taken.
Wow.
We did all of this stuff with face to face, and so we have to come up with a name. We only had like 2 days left, for everything to stay on schedule, because back then when you're in a part of a big record label, you got branded, you have this person, you have that. If you're not on schedule, you're going to be pushed to the end. We put names in a hat.
Wow.
We had attorneys at the round table, people from the record label, ourselves, our managers. We just put names in a hat, and whichever name we picked up was the name it was going to be, and the name that came out was Changing Faces. And the reason being was, at that point we knew what we had. We had an album. It's ultimately going to be about the music, because at the end of the day, if you don't have good music, your name could be Boo Boo the Fool, right? Boo Boo the
Yeah,
Fool. Nobody would really care.
yeah,
And I think about even like Lady Gaga or whatever, like she's just great. It doesn't matter. We'll call you whatever it is you want to be called.
because of
But
the
if her
music.
music wasn't great, right, the music is the
Yeah,
thing that's going to lead you there. And
yeah.
we knew what we had. So, we were first so sad. Oh my God. Oh, the name, I think a rock group had the name. And I
Uh,
feel like they were just lamping for us to put it out so that they could come, come swoop down. So, but thank God we found out like a couple days before. But the name is, it's just a name. It's
yeah.
just a name. And at the end of the day, let the music speak for itself.
Now, because you guys wrote about most of the tracks on your debut album, whose
Mm-hmm.
idea was it to get the hottest star at the time to
Mm-hmm.
come and write the first single? I mean,
Right. So how that came about was, when we got the deal with Spoil Rotten Big Beat Records, we were now looking to put the project together. And it was like, they were like, write a wish list of people you want to work with. He was on the wish list. So at that time, I think it was public, just leaving public announcement. I
oh
think he was
yeah,
just
yeah,
leaving, right? So it was getting ready to, or just starting his solo career. And
yeah.
he was on our wish list of producers to work with, along with like Babyface and stuff who we never got to work with.
Oh, yeah, right.
Would love to. But yeah, he was on our wish list, and they were like, "Wow, you guys have a pretty hard wish list." We like, just send our demo. At that point, we had the demo. Just send the demo. Go with God. If he answers, he answers. If he doesn't, then we'll just keep going. And guess what? He answered. Like,
So who
all he
else
can
did you?
say is no.
Who else did you? So you had Babyface. Who
Yeah, I
else
know it
did
was
you have?
Babyface. I know it's R. Kelly, Babyface. Who else? Oh my gosh. Oh, was it Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis? I think
Wow.
we had like, yeah, we were going for it. We were just, I think it was Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, because Janet Jackson, come on, she
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
everything,
But
you
then,
know?
yeah, and they're both Boys to
Yeah,
Men and stuff. Yeah.
yes, yeah, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. We had a good little list there. But it was like, just send it and then let's go. And
So
that's what happened. I have
apart
hair
from
in my
Stroke You Up,
face.
he did Fooling Around as well.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The thing,
Yes.
the thing about it too is that most the format back then used to be come up with a up tempo stuff, then you kind of slow it down, and then you guys come up with two slow stuff, and it was like, wow, you hear the first one, then you get the second one, and it took off. But when he came, what happens? Does he write the song and says you guys sing,
Yeah.
or
So yeah, kind of, because we were like, I think he was just getting started. So everything was getting ready to take off for him then. And we were both like time challenged. Well, really he was. We were kind of like on his schedule, right? At that point, it's the truth. So it was, yeah, he had already heard our voices from the demo. So
Yeah.
I guess that inspired the songs. And we were like, oh, I think it may have been a couple songs, maybe a couple more, but we ended up with Fooling Around and Stroke You Up. And yeah, and actually Stroke You Up was actually pretty funny because the demo was sent over by R. Kelly singing, I've been feeling kind of strange.
Wow. You know, yeah, I mean, we take away what's happening now, but anytime, if I do a poll today to say, here are 5 artists in the 90s, he gets at least half of the votes, and over
Yeah.
3,000 people vote. And so
Mhm.
there's a lot of us who separate the personal things and recognize the creative talents
Mhm.
that he has, and so we want to focus on the sort of the talent and the
Mhm.
music and
Yeah,
stuff.
because the other stuff I have no clue about. All
No,
I
no,
know
no.
is
Yeah, it is.
Mhm.
It's the focusing on
Mhm.
on the music, and I think for
Mhm.
us, it felt like he could just, it looked like he had a gift, like a baby face or Kenny Green, who could just write
Oh,
for anybody, and
yes.
but to make a song like Stroke You Up and he's singing
Mhm.
in the background, in the 90s it was very competitive. It was great
Yes.
people coming out from Jade and SWV and Vogue, and male and female.
Everybody.
But to
Yes.
break through that, you know did you hear his track and think, oh, this is going to be a hit, or what was your thoughts?
Yeah. So it was, well, when I heard it, yeah, we knew it was going to be a hit because also it was like, it was hard to do. Well, here's the thing. I'm with you on, here you come with this slow stuff. And I think I want to, when was Stroke You Up? Was it Get Out or Stroke You? Because it was, we had two slow singles. It may have been, I don't know if it was Get Out or Stroke You, but one came like in the middle of the summer. And I'm like, this is the summertime. People want to dance. Like, what are we going to do? But the inspiration, and I think we were both on the charts, I think, came from like a Boyz II Men. Like Boyz II Men just come out with slow
Yeah,
bangers,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't matter what's on their chart.
yeah,
Boyz II Men is number one or two,
yeah, yeah,
So you had Jade with, Don't Walk Away, and this one, those were big hits, and SWV, When I'm So Into You, all that stuff. That's cool, and it was rhythmic, but that, I think that's the thing that set us aside from everything else, because it was, what it did was, that was our sound.
yeah, yeah,
Now when
yeah.
you hit it, that's your sound, and it's like, well, that's the difference, and that's what made me want to, go with that. Like, yes, I feel good about it, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's not like anything else that's out there.
No,
Yeah.
no. As I said, it's to come out in the 90s to actually have a lane, it was very impressive, and as I said, the song was amazing. Now, do you then look at what's the song about, or do you just because I wonder if you're because this is your first thing, your family going to be listening to it and stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's what you thought about. Thought about my family. I thought about my grandmother, my church going grandmother every Sunday. Oh, like, yes, you did. But then I was like, listen, this is just, it's just play. This is music. And with Stroke You Up, the beginning part, I want to tell you, I think it took us hours to do that. We laughed so hard. The talking part, we laughed so hard. Like, they couldn't even get to record it, because every time you went to do the whisper, relax, you were just dying laughing. Like, what? This is crazy. So it was all done in fun. But it was like, you have to play the part. Here's the part. Here's the song. It's a hit. You
Yeah.
got to do it. And that was basically how the whole thing. But it was funny. It was a lot of fun.
And it takes off. It's going up in the charts, both the not just the R&B charts, but also the Billboard Top 100.
Right.
Does it surprise the label and everyone how quickly the single and the album is doing?
Yeah, I think they tried to play catch up, because it was like, it kind of got away from them. I think they tried to play catch up, like, wow, because it just came out of nowhere. And that's what happens with like a hit. And that's why I say to even people that are out now, like, try to be in the moment, because it can get away from you. And even for us, I believe it got away from us because it was like happening so fast. Like,
Wow.
you know, I just quit my job at the dermatology office, and now you're saying what? You know, I mean, they literally had to tell me to quit. They're like, Cassandra, I think it was like Kenny Smooth and Shanice were like, you have a record deal now. I'm like, you know, I'm that, you know, East Harlem hustler. I know I need my little money over here. And it's like, no, you have a record deal and you're going to get an advance and you have to quit. And I'm like, nope, not until I see money.
Yeah, but
Not until, right. I need to see something, you know, so it didn't hit me. You know, it didn't hit me until it finally was like 5 heartbeats when either I called Sharice or she called me, the song is on the radio, you know, and it was because it was a slow jam.
yeah,
It was on
it built. Yeah.
no, but it was on the midnight, the overnight, you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
So we were woke up out of our sleep screaming like crazy because that was the first time you heard it, like 1, 2 in the morning. And
Okay.
it was, yeah, because it was on the mellow, you know.
Yeah.
That's where they first started to play it. And for us New Yorkers, in terms of music, you get any new music, it seems like New York plays it last.
I would have thought New York was because I lived in LA. I thought that would be New York, LA. They get it first, and
You don't know it until you start to travel. You're like, New York, you know, has this kind of bouginess about it, I guess, with the radio stations where it's like, when we play it, you've made it. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
we were like hot in the South and in the Midwest and
Yeah, I
Chicago
was
and
in Milwaukee. Yeah, going to college, and so yes.
yes. And our first show was like in Lexington, Kentucky. You know, it was great. Like give all props to the Midwest and to the South. I mean, wherever your fans are, that's where they are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Number 3 on the Billboard 100. I mean, so that's big to get. Forget the R&B charts. They're talking Billboard. I can't remember. You're going against Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears and all that kind of stuff, and you're top 3. You said it happened too quickly. Were they quickly trying to get tours out? I mean, what was that like for you guys?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like all a blur because it just happened so fast, and then you're like, we're number 3. Are you kidding me? You can't even register it. You know, you just can't even digest that because you don't. You know, you just have to pinch yourself. Like, really? You know. So it would it. I don't know. I mean, God just, you know, made a way out of no way, but I couldn't even register it, to be honest with you. I really couldn't. I was grateful and excited and happy, but it was just hard to grasp it. Does that make sense? Yeah, it was hard. It was like, really?
Did you then start to talk? Because that's what got you
Oh
into
yeah,
the stuff.
yeah. Well, and when it was there, we were still promo touring because you had a lot of promo touring. Like back in the 90s, the
I don't know
majority.
why they waste money on those promo stuff.
Yes.
Just giving away
No, we
free
had
music and free
so many promo tours. We would not even.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was to me. I worked briefly with at Edmonds Entertainment, and they were
Oh,
going,
you did?
and
Yeah.
I couldn't understand. And I studied business, and I'm thinking all this wasted money on promo stuff. Why you're
See.
just giving out free CDs to people, the whole album and stuff? But so you're going on your tours and stuff.
Mhm.
Then they say, do you get involved in who's the next single? Because I know Fooling Around was another big hit, but do they speak to you guys, or the label just does
Yeah.
it themselves, or what?
No. They speak to you, and I guess since it was like a great combination with us and R. Kelly, it was like, well, let's go with this, and you guys, you know, and we really were a major part of the songs that were on our album. So it wasn't like you can pick something and we'll be like, oh, absolutely not. You know, we liked or loved everything that we did. So yeah, we were like, well, hey, let's do Foolin Around.
Well, he's already given us his magic touch with the first single. Let's see what happens with this. And I think that really took the album itself
Over.
really took it over.
Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy the touring part of it then? Because this is different when you're being a background singer for a star. Now you're the headliners and the main star. What was that like?
Yeah, then it was actually, it was fun. It was new. It was fresh. It was, you're touring the world. Yeah, we had a ball. Yeah, then it was, you're still oblivious to the music side of it. So it's fun. Or you're oblivious to the fact that you're not making a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole bunch of fun. So yes, then that first album, absolutely. Yeah. But as things progress, then your focus starts to get a little clearer.